Hey besties, my name is Charlotte. If you're new here, if you are, welcome. It's so fun to have you. If you're not, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. As I said, my name is Charlotte. We talk about books here. We do a lot of book stuff. We read, and that is exactly what we're doing today. We're doing a reading vlog, and none less than a 24-hour reading vlog. So I love filming these videos, they're so fun. I am a little bit further behind on the amount of books that I've read this month compared to normal because I've been a little bit slumpy. So I'm thinking, we are currently on the 26th of October. So I was like, we're gonna do a 24-hour readathon. So to just get me ahead, because that's an easy way for me to get like another 3, maybe 4 books in that I probably wouldn't without the additional challenge. If I feel like if you know, you know, because so far this month I've read 7 books, so I've read a good amount. Like, oh, really, like that's an a decent amount. But anyway, we're still doing the 24-hour readathon, so probably gonna split this over a few days because it's like 20 to 4 right now when I'm starting this. So I'm gonna go downstairs, get a snack, get a drink, and then properly start the 24 hours. We are gonna kick things off with Nightbane, which is the second book in the Lightlark series. This came out on paperback this week and I was so excited to read it. The last one left off in such a dramatic place and I just can't wait to see what happens. I'm really, really excited. I read the first sentence and that sounds amazing. Okay, we're just gonna jump straight into things because I just want to go get myself a Pepsi Max, get myself a snack, and start reading straight away. I'm an hour in to the challenge. I read for an hour and then I made dinner and then I've been editing a YouTube video. It's now 7:30 and I'm gonna get back into reading. So far I managed to only get 40 pages into Nightbane. I was reading in the living room, my parents were downstairs and they did keep talking, so like there were like a couple minute stints of not reading, so I think that's why I've not gotten too far through. But yeah, I'm really happy to be back in this world. And this one of the things that I said that I didn't like about, or not that I didn't like, one of my non-desirables of the first one was the fact that it didn't have a map. I do kind of get why I didn't have a map because the map would have given some spoilers, but I'm very happy that we have a map now. I feel like everything is making so much more sense in my brain. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this book is going to take us because, you know, the first book we kind of knew what could happen, whereas this one I really, really don't know. But yeah, I think this maybe, yeah, I obviously can't say what it's going to be about. I'm not gonna blab like that, but yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading and hopefully just read for, I'd like to read till like 11 tonight, so maybe I'll get another 3-ish hours of reading in. I'm giving actual egg right now. So I read for an hour before I went to the gym this morning because the clocks went back last night, so it was so much easier to get up super early. So yeah, I'm only like 4 hours into the time, so we've not made a huge amount of progress, but that's fine. I knew I wouldn't make too much progress yesterday, so I'd like to do quite a bit today. I think I'm not too sure like how much I will actually be able to read today. I am cooking a roast later and I have downloaded an audiobook, so if I finish like I'll go into the audiobook and I can then like read whilst I cook basically, because that also gives me something to do whilst I make a roast, because if you've ever made a roast you will know it's long and kind of tedious. And I also might make cinnamon buns because I got the M&S mix and that would be quite nice. But yeah, I'm gonna hop in a shower. I think I might pop some fake tan on and then we can get into Nightbane. I'm loving this so far as well. Obviously I don't really want to give any updates because I don't want to like give spoilers for Light Luck, but yeah, loving this so much. The dual timeline is dual timelining and it's really fun. Yeah, very exciting. I've had quite a few breaks this afternoon, so I haven't read as much as I would have liked, but with 17 hours and 40 minutes to go and I'm 310 pages into Nightbane, so I literally have 90 pages to go, but I need to go and cook a roast. But I don't want to lose any reading time because obviously that's a lot of time, and I do have an audiobook. Also, please excuse my tan, I need to wash it off, but I'm just gonna wash it off once I cook. So I will be cooking in it for longer because me and my food will be cooking anyway. So I have Hex Appeal downloaded. If you watched my last 24-hour readathon, I read Hex in the City. These are quite fun books and I really liked the audiobook last time because it's got really long chapters. So I just found that it worked quite good in audio form. It says it will take like 9 hours and 11 minutes and then I will listen on 1.5. That's like my preferred speed for audiobooks. But yeah, I am going to read this and cook. I probably won't film anything whilst I'm cooking because my brain can't do that much at once. Audiobook and cooking is already a lot. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be listening to. Okay, time for a little bit of an update. I have just got out of the shower, so I listened to an audiobook whilst I was cooking my roast. So we are now 16 hours and 14 minutes in. So I've read for close to 5 hours so far today. It's 7:30. I loosely planned my week and I wasn't going to do a Google Calendar, and then I saw this girl's TikTok and she has this app and it's so much nicer looking. Why isn't it focusing? That's so much nicer looking than a Google Calendar. So I've downloaded the app, of course, and I'm going to fill my week out in the app now and we'll test it for this week, see how we like it, see how it compares to Google Calendar, because I am a religious planner. I work a 10-hour day and do YouTube where I upload twice a week, and I make book content which is very time consuming content to make because it obviously requires reading like multiple books. So, and I try and work out 5 days a week, so planning is like really crucial to my overall existence as a human being on this earth. So I think I'm gonna listen to more of my audiobook whilst I plan. So far I am enjoying it. So I'm listening to Hex Appeal. So I didn't read the blurb or anything. As I said, I listened to Hex in the City before and I enjoyed it, so I kind of knew it'd be like a fairly safe one to go for. It's the same audio lady and I quite liked her audio miss. I'm 23% of the way through. So far it seems that it is about let me actually read what the blurb is about because I always like to try and like not give too many spoilers when I talk about things. So it says, this spooky season curl up with the perfect witchy rom-com for fans of Gilmore Girls, Hocus Pocus and Charmed. It's definitely giving like kind of Gilmore Girls vibes for like Make It UK. it basically says, Essie Winterscale lives in a huge and ever-changing house in the village of Goodwinter in deepest, darkest Essex. She lives with various witches of various ages, one of whom is still a bit salty about being hanged in the 1700s, one who keeps accidentally casting fertility spells, and one who knits things to create the future. All Essie ever wanted was to have a normal life, but in the end she found herself drawn back to Beldam House because she couldn't stop her witchiness. Although the ability to instantly chill wine is pretty awesome, even she has to admit. Into this coven of chaos stumbles gorgeous, clueless Josh, their new landlord, and he's just discovered their tenants haven't paid rent since the 1700s. As Josh is drawn further into the lives of the inhabitants of Beldam House, Essie is determined to keep him at broomstick's length. That is, until a family secret lying hidden for centuries puts Josh firmly under her spell. So yeah, so far not too much has happened. Our main characters have met, and we're just seeing some things evolve from that. But yeah, as I said, I'm gonna listen to that. I need to put my phone on charge and plan my week at the same time, which is one of my favourite things to do whilst listening to an audiobook. But yeah, and then I will catch up with you when it's time to finish Nightbane, because Nightbane, because I cannot stop thinking about those characters, and I need to know what's going to happen. But I want to make sure that my week is all planned, because I know it's probably going to take me an hour and a half to finish Nightbane, so then it'll be like 9 p.m, and then I don't think I want to sit and plan my book, so just try and plan my book, plan my week, so just try to be logical about that. I also think Hex Appeal is on Kindle Unlimited, so what I might do is once I finish Nightbane, download it on Kindle Unlimited and like listen and read, because I find that quite good sometimes. Okay, I finished Nightbane, like 15-20 minutes ago. Guys, I need book 3 and I need it now. Oh my god. Currently questioning why I didn't read this series sooner. I feel like no one talks about it, but it's literally insane. I think this might be becoming my new favourite series. This is an incredible second book, and I feel like that is so rare. So rare. Yeah, if you haven't read the series, get on it now. The next book comes out in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so now is the perfect time. Go pick it up. Go pick it up, because yeah, incredible. And they're also quite a big paperback size as well, which is quite nice. But in terms of where we're at, we're on 14 hours and 19 minutes. It is 10:15, so we're not getting like down to like 12 hours or anything today, which is fine. I feel like, so I started the day on like 21, right? I think I took a screenshot of last night where I left off. Yeah, so I was on 20 hours and 54 minutes last night, so I'm gonna use my calculator. So I've read for like 6 and a bit hours today, which is pretty, it's okay, it's not the worst. I'm not sure what to read next, but I do want to read for a little bit more time. I think I am going to download Hex Appeal onto my Kindle. I think it's on unlimited, and I think I will just read that whilst listening until I'm like tired enough to sleep, basically, because that seems like the easiest decision right now. Yes, it is on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, I think that is what we are going to do, but I need some water because I'm so thirsty. I absolutely did not want to move when I was reading this book, so... Guys, I accidentally deleted my timer. I went to pause it and I deleted. I had, I think, 12.5 hours left because it's like 7:37. Yeah, like with the, yeah, I 12.5 hours left. So yeah, I'm just gonna set a 12.5 hour timer, and we're gonna hope that that is where we were. Oh, I was like listening to my audiobook whilst getting ready, and then my mum came to bring the dog in to my room, and I thought I pressed pause, but I must have pressed X. But yeah, we've got our 12.5 hour timer set. Okay, so we have 12 hours and 22 minutes to go. This morning I've just been listening to more of Hex Appeal. So far it's good. It's very similar to Hex and the City and like the storyline, I guess, and things that happen, but this one's kind of fun. Enjoying it. It's an easy read. I think I'm 67% of the way through, so as we can see I am about to go on a run, but I'm going to drive somewhere to run somewhere else because it's really hard to run where I live. I live in the middle of nowhere, don't like road running. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to the book on my way to the run, and then I normally do like a longer, like I don't run half out, half back. I run a little bit further out, so I can have a longer, like, so I finish my run and then have like a longer walk to cool down. So I'll also listen then, and then on the drive home. So hopefully I will nearly finish it in that time, which is super exciting. And then we need to decide on a third book. Okay, so we have 11 hours and 16 minutes left now. So I read / listened to my audiobook whilst I was driving, and then like driving there, the little warm up, well, cool down walk, and then once I got home, like on my drive home, once I got home whilst I was making some food. So we have 11 hours and 16 minutes left. I think I've just sat down, I've got my Kindle, I'm gonna read whilst listening. Saying there's like an hour and 20 minutes left. So should finish it in like 40 minutes, I think. So I'll do 2 times speed. Maybe even, I don't know if I can go faster than 2 times speed whilst reading, but yeah, that is the plan. And then once we've finished that, I'm gonna do some little chores just to break it up a little bit, and then I think I might start the Assassin's Blade. I'm not too sure. I've read half of the Assassin's Blade before, but I am gonna start from the beginning because that was at the start of this year. It was like February where I read it. I actually read it in the first ever 24-hour readathon I filmed. Full circle moment. I feel like I'll be able to get through that fairly quickly, in the sense that like I remember it so vividly, and it's the main reason why I just decided to buy the whole box set, because I think about Assassin's Blade all the time. Every time I pick up a fantasy that has some components of what happened in Assassin's Blade, I think about it. Like I remember it so vividly, to the point where I'm like, I genuinely might be able to go, I think I'm halfway through the Assassin in the Desert. It's really annoying because I had it on Libby, so obviously you can't see like where you got up to because it's been returned. But enough Throne of Glass talk. I'm gonna finish Hex Appeal. So far I am enjoying it. the thing I like about these books is that, like, and to be fair, I'm preferring this to Hex and the City. So the thing that's nice is, like, they're romance books, but they are very heavy plot based. I think they make really good audiobooks because so much happens. Like, the same thing happened in this one. You get kind of just past the halfway point and you're like, oh, like, surely I'm nearly done. The only thing I haven't liked about this one, which wasn't in Hex and the City, is this is kind of spicy, and there was like a whole subplot around trying to make her, I'm not going to say the words, and that's just uncomfortable to listen to when it's third person narration and an audiobook. Like, and I know it should be uncomfortable, but it still just feels weird. But yeah, other than that, enjoying it. I'm excited to see where it goes because it felt like these books are just, I never know where it could go. Okay, so I have had like a little bit of an accidental, quite long break. It's 13:47. We still have 10 hours, 38 minutes to go. So I think the ship has sailed for finishing this challenge today, which is absolutely fine. But yeah, I think I finished Hex Appeal like 2 hours ago. Yeah, it's been a little while. We have 9 hours left, and I am 2 stories. I'm using an empty bucket of buttons as a bookmark because I didn't bring a bookmark down with me. I don't know where the bookmark that I always and only use is. So we're gonna just keep using that for now. But yeah, I am up to The Assassin in the Desert. Obviously, I read like those 2 stories in entirety before, so I remembered them quite well, so I was reading pretty quickly. But yeah, managed to do those in an hour and a half, which feels very productive. However, I have now realised I don't have anything for dinner, so I am going to pop out and get something. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go and get some food so I can actually eat, and then we can get locked in for The Assassin in the Desert. I'm assuming, I can't remember how far through this one I got, but I remember a lot of it, I think. And then yeah, hopefully we'll keep up a good pace. Obviously, with having 9 hours left, being 100 pages in, I feel like maybe I'll probably finish this in like 6 hours, maybe. So that will give us like 3 hours of the time left. I don't know what I'm gonna read in that time, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking, before I saw a video earlier, I was thinking maybe the Cinnamon Bun bookstore, because Pumpkin Spice Cafe I finished really quickly. However, I have not heard good things about the Cinnamon Bun bookstore. Apparently it's set in summer. Why are we calling it Cinnamon Bun bookstore? Why are we putting leaves on the front cover? I feel lied to, honestly. So I don't think I will read that. I'm not sure. I just want something quick that I have the potential of reading in that time. But I don't know. I might pick up Throne of Glass. However, I did say I wanted to take my time with this series because I want to still make, like I've said, I'm not making a reading vlog for this series. So I want to be able to read like other books, and I feel like if I just end up going like straight into Throne of Glass, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, not a problem for right now. I'm gonna go and find some food. I've been filming another video today, so I haven't given you an update, but I finished The Assassin's Blade this morning with 4 hours and 5 minutes left to go on the timer. I didn't really speak much, I don't think, whilst I was reading this. To be honest, it's kind of a weird one to give like updates on, and I feel like if you've read it, you will completely understand. Like as you're reading it, like there really isn't anything to say because it's short stories. Like you're just reading individual stories. Like I could update every single story, but it is kind of also forming, like they're short stories that make like a bigger story. Like it's kind of strange. I was expecting, obviously I've read the first few, but I was still kind of expecting it to be a lot more like just random stories in Selena's life rather than like, because it is kind of a whole story in itself, so I don't really go by its novellas, I'm not gonna lie. Like that really confuses me, honestly. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I think, oh, I've not given star ratings, so we're gonna do that at the end. I was about to. Ooh. But yeah, enjoyed it. Excited to go into the rest of the series. And then this morning I didn't have my Kindle or like a book with me, and I ended up walking on the treadmill. So I went on my Kindle app and I picked up, let me see if it's gonna have loaded through to my Kindle. So I already had some books like that I'd pre-downloaded ages ago, and there was one book that I suddenly remembered is pretty short, and I think it's gonna take me like the rest of the time to read. So I have like 3 hours and like 49 minutes or something crazy left. So That Kind of Guy by Stephanie Archer. It's the first book in the Queen's Cove series. So I'm on chapter 2. I really didn't read much. It's saying I've got 4 hours and 38 minutes left, so we may not finish it in this video, but I'm going to sit down now and try and finish it. I want to try and get through as much as possible this evening. It's 8:30, so I don't think I'm going to use like all of the time up because that would just take me like a little bit too late, and I need to film a thumbnail before work tomorrow. I will update you when I start reading again. Basically, we'll do a little timer situation. Hey besties, so our video has come, wow, I finished the last book this morning. I still have 15 minutes left on the timer. I actually don't see the point of us starting one chapter of a book together. Like sometimes in these videos I maybe have an hour and a half left and we get halfway through a book, or we get like a good chunk in and I can give you my thoughts on a book, at least. Like first thoughts, first impressions. When I have 15 minutes to read a book, to read some other book, like I just don't, let's not do that. We don't need to do that to each other. So I'm gonna cancel the timer and we're gonna just wrap this video up here. So the challenge took a little bit longer than I wanted. I started at like 5 p.m. on Saturday and I finished at I think 20 to 7 in the morning on Wednesday. So a bit longer than I wanted, but that's fine. And I'm not even gonna lie, filming this video has made me realise I need to sort my screen time out, because one of the main reasons why this has taken me so long is because I kept having screen time breaks. I'd be going on my phone to reply to a text and then I'd be on my phone for an hour, and that is the main reason. So it's actually going to become one of my November goals. I might make it that a reading vlog in November, actually, trying to reduce my screen time, because it's just not okay. It's not okay. But anyway, the book that I finished was That Kind of Guy by Stephanie Archer. This is the first book in the Queen Cove series, and oh my god, I loved this. I haven't enjoyed a small town romance this much since Chestnut Springs. I gave it 4 stars, but I think I'm going to increase to 4.5 because I just really enjoyed it. It kind of gave me everything that I wanted in a small town romance. It was really funny, like it cracked me up at moments. I was properly laughing. It was like, the romance was really good, the spice like hit how I want the spice to hit. It was really fun. I had a really good time reading it, and I definitely am going to be continuing the series. It was like the perfect length, I think, which is kind of what I want in a romance book now. I think like the way I see a romance book right now is just primarily as a filler when I'm like reading fantasies, and this was perfect. I haven't read a first person dual POV romance in a really long time, and it's definitely cemented to me that that is my favourite kind of romance. I think the pumpkin spice cafe, I think if that had been like a first person, then I would have enjoyed that a lot more. This hit really hard, really enjoyed it. So yeah, that is the last book we read, and it's a 4.5 star. And then we read The Assassin's Blade. I really struggle with like a rating for this, as it is just a collection of novellas. So I do think I am just going to give it a 4 star. I really enjoyed it. I feel more connected to the character now. I know what she's gone through, and I'm really excited to start Throne of Glass, which I'm gonna do now. And yeah, it felt like a 4 star was just natural for this book. That's kind of all I have to say about it. Like I don't think there's too much to add. I'm just excited to get into the series. I'm glad that I started, like I've not even gotten into the other books yet, and I'm already glad that I started with Assassin's Blade, because I know the backstory. Although I wonder if I'm going to start to find it annoying having the backstory explained to me when I already know it, but I guess it depends how like the author's gone about us knowing that, because I know she says you shouldn't read The Assassin's Blade first. And then we go into our second book that we read. I'm doing this wrap up quite rapidly. Let me just get my fable up, because I'm not 100% sure on the rating. So we read Hex Appeal, which was a fun time. As I said with Hex in the City when I read it, these books I definitely recommend the audiobooks. They are like, they have really, really long chapters. I think the book itself, like it has like 20 chapters and it's like nearly 400 pages. So I would recommend the audiobook personally. I just don't like long chapters. It was fun. I definitely enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Hex in the City. It felt a little bit more grounded in it, that it had kind of one plot. It did go a little bit crazy. It was unexpected, I guess, but I guess I also expected it more because I've already read one book by this author, and they kind of had the same plot, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it was a little bit fun, a little bit silly. I liked the romance in this one more. Something I found with Hex and the City was I kind of wish that the romance wasn't in it. Like I wish the characters were making choices out of the romance, but like this time I didn't really find that was as much of an issue. It's very interesting because I'm pretty sure Hex Appeal was the first book, but in my opinion it reads like more of a second book. It reads like more of a refined version of Hex in the City, which is interesting. And I did end up giving that 3.5 stars, which I think is what I gave. Yeah, I just gave them both 3.5. I don't really rate lower than 3.5, to be honest. And a lot of Hex Appeal hasn't stuck in my mind. I don't know if that's because I was listening to it. Sometimes I do find that, I'm not gonna lie, like being fully transparent, and it's why I don't always do audiobooks. I don't find they always stick in my mind too well. But then that brings us on to the fourth book that we read. I think this is the most books that I've read in a readathon. Let me count from last time. Yeah, so last time I read 3 books and got halfway through one. And then the first time I did one, I genuinely have no idea how many I read. But anyway, yeah, so the fourth book that we read was, or the first book, was Nightbane, book 2 in the Lilac series. I keep thinking about these characters. I enjoyed this so much. If you haven't read this series, please do. The third and final book comes out really soon, and honestly, you just need to know. You need to be involved. You need to be reading this book. I really enjoyed this second book. I think it's so rare that you find a book that doesn't have second book syndrome, and yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. My camera is about to die, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I did end up giving Nightbane 5 stars. I just don't think I could give it anything less. It was absolute perfection. The romance, the twist, the turns, the dual timeline, everything, the way it carried on from book 1. I just loved it so much. I love the reveals that happen in these books toward the end with like the lies, and I love that we just never really know what's happening. It's incredible. So yeah, another 5-star read. But that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I feel like it's been a little bit all over the place, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna work on reducing my screen time in November, and then I am gonna film another one of these videos at the end of November because I just love them. It's such a good way for me to get through my Goodreads goal. I mean, I read 4 books this weekend and I'd read 7 in the whole of October, so I read over half of the amount of books in like 3 days, so absolute craziness. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do give this a big thumbs up if you did enjoy. If you want to see more of this, please subscribe to my channel. I've loved having you, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye!